Welcome to Small Business Talks. My name is Shiraz Siddique, and this is the Marketing Automation Series brought to you by Zoho and Canadian SME Business Magazine. Now, Zoho is the leading international full suite of business applications covering every aspect of business: HR, accounting, marketing, and so much more. Their organic growth across Canada has been nothing short of extraordinary. Why? Because they solve the challenges that every business faces in their daily operations. It's more than technology. It's leveraging the power of synchronized information so every department is reading off the same page. Let's go.
Welcome to the Marketing and Business Automation Series brought to you by Zoho. You're about to experience a dynamo whose passion and energy alone is worth the time you're investing in watching this episode. Kira is the founder of Customerization, a necessary approach to making your sales and marketing journey uniquely fit your product or service. Let's go.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Small Business Talks. And of course, today we're focusing on marketing automation. Today, we have a dynamo, just an explosive ball of energy, and you're about to experience her brand and her flavor. Please welcome Kira, everyone. Kira, thank you for making the time and, as always, investing in the lives of other businesses in a worthwhile way.
Yeah, thanks, Shiraz, for having me. And, the name of our company is Customerization, the tongue twister. So thanks for pronouncing that correct.
I love it when guests do something basic, like have their screen behind them with their logo, for example, a t-shirt with their logo. You live branding at its core. You get it.
You know what we did for an event, and maybe we can throw a few pictures in. We built everything around practicalities. We are not a huge business just yet. And I have tons of years of experience in marketing, from branding to events to digital, everything. We'll talk about that. And I know how important the brand is, but it's also so costly to maintain that. So if you can get to the guts of it, to understand what you want to say by your brand name, and invest in key brand assets, like a good logo, memorable, colors, some basic repeatable elements, that's the way to go. And then people see that, right? They connect the dots. So I'm all into practicalities. Brand is great, and everybody can afford that, but you need the knowledge, the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you're saying about repeatable presence. And when you can repeat anything, that's why this conversation about automation is so important, because even when you don't remember, the system and the program that you build will remember for you to remind your customers about who you are and what you do best. Now, when I was prepping for our conversation, I spoke to a few folks that know you, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. You actually feel like you are your biggest brand ambassador. Like, it's your face, it's your energy, it's everything about you, it's your passion that actually represents Customerization.
It is, and not only. I would say I'm the typical representative of someone maybe talented, maybe experienced, maybe with a passion, who wants to be something bigger, help more people, in our case, businesses, just to be more, to give more. And that's the evolution, right? First, you work for a company, for a few startups, then for a corporate, and you understand, I learned a lot there, even more there, which is a better fit. I still haven't found what I love and where my passion comes into play fully. And then you start your own business. So you debate with yourself, is it dangerous? Will you survive? And then you just get into it, ideally a planned journey. And from there you grow.
Not everyone has what it takes to jump out and take that leap into starting their own business. And I think one of the things that both you and I have learned in business is we don't have to know it all, but we have to surround ourselves with people who are experts in what they do. And I think that's why having you here today is so important, because we're here to talk about marketing automation. And thank you for being the type of person who jumped out to start your own business, because that's who's listening in today. And so for all of you who are listening in, reach out to Kira. We'll provide her contact information at the end. You'll certainly have an opportunity to connect with her. But let's go. Kira, typical question, right? But I'm going to ask it anyways. Your top 3 principles as to why someone should migrate their marketing initiatives into an automated format.
Absolutely. So let's start with the obvious one. It's costs, right? It's costs and resources. So I'm not even sure in this world, modern world, how you can live without marketing automation, at least basic. Take email marketing, for example. You just cannot be manually marketing people. Like it's not reasonable. You will spend a lot of time and you'll be just depressed because your open rate still will be quite low, and you will get maybe a few responses and they might be good information, but no result, no immediate result.
So even before we go to a technique and a tactic like delivering it through a mechanism like email marketing, you mentioned costs. Now here's the dilemma that our audience might have when it comes to costs. If we're being honest, it's expensive to take the time from a small business owner's mind, right? To take the time to sit with somebody like you who's a lot smarter than the average bear, to map it out, plan it out, build it out, because there's this huge one-time cost. Now, both you and I know that it pays for itself in month 6, month 7, and then you're saving so much money. What would you say to someone who's considering that one-time cost versus the lifetime value of automating their marketing services?
You're probably expecting me to say, yes, you have to invest into that. You have to make that project happen. So no, not necessarily. Usually there are a few types of clients. I categorize them by experience. Are they an educated client, or they are just exploring their options, right? So if you're just exploring, you can thoroughly explore the self-service option and maybe read some blog posts. There is so much information online. Just find the relevant, reliable sources. Choose cheap software, the basic one. If you are not an advanced marketer, if you are just starting out with, let's say, email marketing, believe me, you don't need something sophisticated. You will get lost. Something basic, something cheap. Try it out. Run a small test campaign, really small. See whether it's for you or not, whether you are managing or not.
Okay, so now you're introducing a second principle here. Your first one is consider the cost, right? But I think you and I both know that in a matter of months, it more than pays for itself, and then you end up saving a ton of money just by overcoming that first barrier of the one-time cost. But now you're introducing another principle here. You're encouraging everybody to self-discover. Go ahead and explore the options that are available to you. Because
of course, yeah. Because if you come to me and you are not ready for my service, we have wasted your time and you are still frustrated. So that's where all the educational and self-exploration opportunities are good. You can also leverage multiple, at least Toronto Board of Trades programs about digital transformation, how to build your business. I'm not sure whether that's free or that's not free, or you guys at the business magazine have some options, but you can take some boot camps. The point is to build a plan, at least in your head, that's a good fit for your current situation. Right. Don't build something bombastic, just something immediate that will help you to test, fail fast, whatever, then you're ready to try something new. Because you can spend more time with me, like exploring the options, and I will ask you questions that you cannot even answer. So what's the point, right?
Love it. And what you're saying is you'll take the time to help clients understand, because unless they understand, it's hard to get comfortable. And until you get comfortable, you can't be confident in what you're about to embark on. And you want clients to feel confident about what they're doing. So now let me switch it up a little bit for just to pull out a third thought from you on what it takes to enter in this space in marketing automation. How will I know when I'm ready for it? I'm growing. I feel that there's interest in what I'm doing, I don't. Am I ready? But how do I know when I'm ready to engage?
It's research. The keyword is research, I believe. So market research would be one. What is your addressable market, right? Who is interested in your services? Do you know that at all? Is it big enough? Is it small? So if you feel confident that you have good addressable market of people who want to buy or potentially buy your services, you probably need to expand. You probably need to change something. You probably need to scale. You probably need to grow. So this is one. And the other aspect of the research is if and hopefully you do have customers, existing customers, ask them what their needs are, why they chose your service, what's good in your service or product compared to the competition, and learn from that. So then, ideally, you would have the full understanding. What is the market and what you have to offer? Then you merge that. And from there, it will be quite clear whom you are offering that and what marketing channel is the best for you, or a combination of channels.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're in conversation with Kira of Customerization. She is the co-founder and currently in the capacity of CMO at Customerization. Now, we've been speaking about marketing automation in terms of your considerations to say, hey, I might be ready for this. What are the markers on my roadmap of my business build to know when I need to jump out of my normal rhythm in my small capacity to market to make it something that's set it and forget it. It's working for you overnight, even when you sleep, the proverbial working for you even while you sleep machine, right? And that's ideally where we all want to get at. Now, before we take a small break, before we do, Kira, what is something that, what's a natural starting point? Where do I begin this journey?
Usually people start it wrong. I'm probably not going the direction you expected. So a lot of folks think that if they just buy technology, that will do the work for them, just so plug and play. No, that doesn't work like that. No technology will solve your needs unless you've done the proper research and you know your customers and you know your product. So that's a huge, huge misconception. So this is something that needs to be addressed from the get-go.
So we are going to take a quick short break. I asked her the question, what should you consider? And you immediately said what we should not consider. But when we come back, I want to insert a consideration. Hey, this is what you should consider when you do move forward beyond just simply buying the technology. And welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in conversation with Kira of Customerization. She is the co-founder and CMO. Let's go down that path. Let's say that I want to market to other businesses to sell my social mints. Because I'm telling you, you're going to make a lot of friends and less enemies because you're not going to breathe garlic on them anymore because of my mints here. So, what would you do? Set me up. Give me a quick little strategy. What would you do for me?
So I would ask you whether you have your ideal customer profile. There are many business owners. What is your ideal? Is it like in the neighborhood? Is it cross Canada? Are you going to ship to the US? Whatever it is, my job is to ask you questions. Maybe you haven't thought of those answers, but you will have to with us.
And I think that is why we were so excited to have you on today. You're not, although you have the competence and the experience and the success stories, hundreds of success stories of clients that you've helped. The reason why we wanted you on is because that's what you do. Through questions, you help our audience think through and ask even better questions or considerations that they haven't even entertained yet. Thank you so much, Kira, for making the time today. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, you want to reach out to her team. Now, there is the last piece here. All right. And that is, where do I input all this content? Now, we know CRM. Obviously, the sponsor of this series is Zoho. If you're familiar with Zoho, Kira or not, obviously you are. What role does that now play in the overall integration of my marketing automation?
I'll simplify it for you.
Please.
We talked a lot about marketing automation. Marketing automation consists of marketing channels, assets, and processes. This can be social media posts, this can be email marketing, this can be landing pages, this can be banners, this can be SMS, this can be anything. So
I'm sorry, I just want to remember that map. You said marketing channels, M. You
marketing
said
channels, messaging,
assets. And then assets, the A. So you got messaging and marketing channels, M. You got A, your assets, meaning all your digital content. And then you got P for your map. You got processes. So that's kind of the map that you take people through that journey of collecting your marketing channels, your messaging, your assets, and your processes. That is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, remember that.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll make a course out of that.
You know, that's what customerization do. That's the journey that they'll take you on through their map. Now, when we have that information, is that what you plug into a CRM like Zoho?
All that we plug into Zoho Campaigns or Zoho Social or Zoho Marketing Automation tool, which is dedicated for automating the marketing part of the business.
Okay.
Then there is a transition into the CRM. You don't want a rubbish CRM. You don't want thousands records in your CRM, which you don't know who they are. You just copy pasted them from the web. No, that's not what you do. You manage that in the marketing software, specifically Zoho Marketing Automation. And when those leads are interacting with your content, when you think, or your marketing person thinks they are ready to be talked to and sold to, then there is an automated transition into the CRM where your salespeople will see those, and they will ask you, maybe as a marketer, more questions about those leads, what exactly they have seen, how much they have interacted with the website, and then your sales will continue the conversation. So this is how CRM works with marketing automation, and marketing team works with the sales team, because they don't always work well together.
And welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in conversation with Kira of Customerization. She is the co-founder and CMO. So many organizations, there is this historical battle between marketing and sales, right? Marketing will say, and I've had this conversation with other folks as well, and I bring up the same topic because it is kind of standard conversation around the water cooler, and that is the difference between an MQL, a marketing qualified lead, and an SQL, a sales qualified lead. So it sounds, what I'm hearing is, when you're using the same software program, both organizations, your CRM on one end with your sales, and on the other end, also your marketing team, the data becomes flattened and there's no biases to represent, hey, we're doing a good job, you're doing a bad job, or vice versa. If you're all working off the same, off the same page, meaning a Zoho, you can actually see it more cleanly, can't you?
Yeah, we're talking here about the unified source of truth, and the source of truth is the result. It's the sale, it's the revenue. And yes, marketing contributes to that by running successful campaigns. But how would marketing know what's successful and what's not if they don't have visibility into the sales? And sales is reflected in the CRM. So what I'm always saying, actually, CRM connected to marketing automation changes culture.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here from Kira herself. marketing automation will literally transform the way that your company operates, even from a cultural perspective, because you're eliminating a lot of the question marks that are raised because somebody's report says this, but someone else's report says that. When you're unified in that, and I love what you said, and we're probably going to wrap it up with this. You said that it's based in truth, sales, and revenue. Ultimately, that's the ultimate marker for any business is, are you using the right data, meaning the truth? Are you generating sales? And at the end of the day, is it creating revenue for you to continue into the growth plot that you've planned for your business? Align what you do and do it quickly. There's companies out there like Kira at Customization that can help you with that process. Thank you for joining us today, Kira, and thank you all for joining us today on Small Business Talks. This is the Marketing Automation Series.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for joining us today, and feel free to share this episode with others as well. And don't forget to subscribe to Canadian SME Small Business Magazine to stay up to date on all our upcoming events and get top business insights from industry leaders. This is Shiraz Siddique, your host for the Marketing and Business Automation Series, brought to you by Zoho.
And thank you to the team at Canadian SME for making the Marketing Automation Series possible. And thank you for spending time investing in your business to move forward with Small Business Talks. The Marketing Automation Series is brought to you by Zoho. Visit zoho.com or email sales@zohocorp.com to better understand how Zoho can literally transform your operational flow. This is Shiraz Siddique, paving a way for your prosperity.